In Ontario, we have over 200 plant and animal species listed as at risk of disappearing from the wild forever. But landowners, working together with biologists and local community groups, are striving to reduce that number, one species at a time. Gray rat snakes, also commonly known as black rat snakes, are a non-venomous species. In Ontario, they occur only in 2 regions. In southeastern Ontario, gray rat snakes are threatened, and in southwestern Ontario, they are in danger of extirpation.
Gray rat snakes are Canada's longest snake, so they regularly get over 6 feet in length, and the record length is over 8.5 feet from down in the United States. They are actually, especially as they get larger, they are very, very dark. But if you flip them over on their chin and throat, they're almost a pure white. They have a very flat belly, and they're shaped, we like to say they're shaped like a loaf of bread. So they're rounded on top and flat on the bottom, which gives them a couple edges, unlike other snakes that are shaped more like a log in cross section. Gray rat snakes are at risk in Ontario for a few reasons. Habitat loss. A lot of rat snakes get killed on roads, so road mortality is a problem. And then there's just a general misunderstanding and fear of a big, dark snake. And so a lot of people, unfortunately, go out of their way to kill them or to move them too far from their range.
So our first encounter with a snake was when we were first putting some extra work into the cottage, renovating it, and there was at least one, if not more, in amongst the footings, because they had actually used the cottage as a place in which to shed, their skin. So it was kind of like, ooh. But we kind of just shooed them away, and then then after that, once the garage was built, and this lovely concrete floor was available for getting warm in the sun, they were often in the front door. So my husband used to take his hockey stick and just gently move them out of his way so the ATV or whatever wouldn't run over them. But so they quickly adapt to people, and it was really quite interesting that we learned to adapt to them as well.
Gray rat snakes love forest, mature hardwood forest. But one of the areas that they like to spend a lot of time in is along the edge of a forest. We call that edge habitat, and that's where the forest meets an open clearing, such as this one, or a rocky clearing, a farm field, even a wetland. They spend a lot of time along edge habitat. For landowners in gray rat snake range will often see gray rat snakes in a wood pile, such as this one. They like rock piles, and they spend a lot of their time up in trees. If you're really interested in protecting or even enhancing habitat for rat snakes, there are a number of things you can do. Keep rock piles intact, keep any site where you've seen a rat snake or a rat snake skin intact. You can also build artificial nest boxes. That's something that some landowners have had a lot of success with.
We've been working here on gray rat conservation probably actively for about 6 or 7 years, working with the Leeds Grenville Stewardship Council. And one of the big projects is to have nesting boxes which exclude predators and try and enhance the local population. The nest box for the first year was, not very active, but once the snakes discovered it, we've now had enormous success with probably over about 300 or 400 hatched eggs over the course of the last 6 or 7 years, and it's really quite amazing. Even though you would expect to see a really big surge in the number of snakes that are actually around here, you don't really see them. They're very secretive and probably spreading out a little bit around the area and into the territory.
The first rule of conservation is to keep all of the parts, to protect all of its parts. And gray ratsnake is a part of this ecosystem. It's been here for a long, long time. They are declining, unfortunately, which is why we're trying to protect what's left.